Welcome to SonicFit Learning to Sight Sing videos. This is video 2 of part 2, Learning to Count in Common Time. In the note duration video, we used a timeline to demonstrate note values smaller than a whole note. In common time, each new whole note corresponds to a new unit on the ruler, and we call this a measure. A measure contains many notes of differing note values, as long as the total duration adds up to a whole note. 4 quarter notes can complete a measure, or a half and 2 quarters, or any similar combination. Measures on the staff are separated by bar lines. A bar line is a vertical line connecting the top and bottom lines of the staff. At the start of the staff, a clef is used to orient pitch, and a time signature is used to orient rhythm and meter. Common time can be indicated with a C after the clef. While it is easy to understand common time in terms of a whole note filling a whole measure, in practice, musicians orient more to the beat, which is the quarter note. We count 4 quarter note beats in each measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be explained further in the time signature videos. If the quarter note is 1 beat, then it follows that the half note is held for 2 beats and the whole note for 4 beats. Some teachers have students practice singing note values mnemonically. For example, saying ta for quarter notes and half note for half notes, and hold that whole note for whole notes. At SonicFit, we are skipping over this pedagogical step and jumping straight to count singing, where we place the notes in the meter. In this example, we would count sing 1, 2, T4, 1, 2, T4, 1, 2, T4. The first thing that you probably noticed is that I'm singing T instead of 3. This is just to have a word with a crisper attack, T instead of thr. You hopefully also noticed that for notes lasting more than 1 beat, I said all of the included numbers, staying on the same pitch where the note began. In this way, I continue to mark the beats passing by in time. In writing out how to count sing, use the dash sign to connect held beats. In count singing, you approach each new note with 2 questions. First, ask how many beats does this note get? In this case, since it's a half note, it gets 2 beats. Second, you consider where the note starts and ask which beats are those? In this case, since it starts on beat 1 and lasts for 2 beats, it gets beats 1 and 2. Then we move to the next beat and ask the same 2 questions. The next beat is a quarter note, so it gets 1 beat. And the next available beat is beat 3, so that's where it goes. Going on, the next note is a quarter note. It lasts 1 beat, and the available beat is beat 4. Next, we see a bar line indicating that we're into a new measure. The first 2 notes are quarter notes, so they get 1 beat each, and they would go on beats 1 and 2. The next available beat is beat 3, and the third note, being a half note, lasts for 2 beats, so it goes on beats 3-4. At the bar line, check that the previous measure is complete. The first note of the new measure is on beat 1, so if you have something different, you probably made a mistake in the previous measure. Try to figure out the final two measures before they are shown on the screen. As you become proficient with count singing, you will no longer need to isolate each note with our two questions. Instead, you will batch notes together and process the information with an instant understanding of how the notes fit in the measure. You are now ready for the Writing in Counts exercise, Level 1. All of the examples are in common time and use only quarter, half, and whole notes.